So in this video, I really want to go in on how we really test the ads and how we eventually move forward to really get the client the most cheapest conversions, the most cheapest leads. Our purpose, our objective is to get the client the most cheapest customers through the door. And by cheapest, I mean just like to pay the least amount to eventually get a customer through the door, right? So we can either pay $10 per customer, we can pay $5, we can pay sometimes even less, we can pay more than that. Our eventual goal is to really get the client the most cheapest leads. How do we really do that? So first of all, like I explained in previous videos, when we create the ad, okay, we send it out to a radius around the business, right? It's really not that complicated. You just send out an ad on a radius around the business, anywhere from 1 mile to 5 mile, even sometimes more if there's not enough people. Okay, so we go ahead, we create the campaign, right? And we either go with traffic or conversions. Don't forget we need to install the custom conversions like I explained before, but if we don't have the data yet, we're gonna go with traffic. So we're gonna go Fort Hair Salon, for example, which is what we're gonna deal with now. Clicks to website, right? So here we're going to scroll down to locations. We're gonna pick people who live in this location. We're going to add the address, and that's gonna pinpoint the exact location of the business. Okay, now this is Fort Lauderdale. Okay, so this is huge. There's a lot of people here. So usually you'll want to go anywhere from 5 miles, like and below, because you don't want to get people to like a haircut and they are like 10 miles away from the place. So we're gonna go with 5 miles. But even with 5 miles in this specific scenario is a lot. It's 380,000 people. So here I might just go with even like 2 miles. Okay, just because there's so many people here. 32,000, maybe even 3 miles to make it a bit bigger. But sometimes you won't have this amount, right? Sometimes most places you won't have this amount. You might have a few tens of thousands. So that's why usually you'll pick 5 miles, okay? But do the thinking, and usually you don't want to go over 5 miles unless you have to, or unless the business is okay with reaching more further away clients. But usually around the 4 or 5 mile radius is a good radius. Now, the closer, the better. So if you have enough people for 3 miles, and enough people should be anything over 50,000. If you have over 50,000 with 3 miles, then go with 3 miles, because the closer it is to the business, the better. And then we have to basically pick the age and gender. Now, like I said before, we can let Facebook optimize on this alone, but it's better to give Facebook a helping hand. Depending on the business, some businesses will just tell you that there's no reason to deal with men or women. So for example, hair salons, you probably have no actual reason to deal with men, because women are going to be the actual clients that spend hundreds of dollars. Men usually will not come more to the hair salon for more than a haircut. That's why if we're dealing with a hair salon, I won't deal with men, I will deal only with women. But if I'm dealing with a restaurant, I'll deal with both of them. It doesn't matter if they have more men or more women as customers. As a restaurant, I don't want to limit myself. But this is when you need to ask your client who is their actually potential customer, who is most of their customers, and who spends more money, because this way you'll just you won't waste your time on people that will just come for the freebie. So you ask your client that, and then you ask your client the ages. Now, like I said, I don't like to target anything below 24. Okay, everything over 25 is what I'll usually target, no matter the business, because eventually these are the people that will eventually spend money. So you want to ask your client what's the age range of his customers, but we're not looking for age ranges of like 25 to 27 or something like that. We're looking for like a 20-30 year range, because we can eventually target as well 25 to 65 plus, which is usually okay. But if the client says like, listen, nobody below 40 ever comes here, then there's no reason to target over 40. Most of the time, you'll just target 25 to 65 plus, because most businesses will basically, their target is, the age target is very, very broad. But if they can aim you on the potential client, you would rather just target the potential client. So if they're telling you, listen, we don't really deal with anyone over 50, our business doesn't deal with them, then we'll just go with 25 to 50, right? So just have somewhat of an understanding. So if we have a hair salon, for example, and this hair salon says, listen, we have all customers, everywhere from 27-year-olds to 60-year-olds to even 80-year-olds. Then I'll just go with 25 to 65 plus women. Okay. So now we're targeting 25 to 65 plus, gender woman, and we're targeting everyone around the area of the hair salon, 3 miles. In the detailed targeting, we don't have to put anything. Like I said, don't overcomplicate it. It's enough to put the detailed targeting like that. Now on the budget, we're going to put anywhere from $5 to $10. This is the first testing phase. Okay, after we run this, we basically go ahead and start to split the ages. But here it's important to edit the placements as well, remove audience network, remove Instagram, and only leave it on feeds. Okay, so all devices, feeds, don't need the rest. Okay, and then you run this on $10. You run this for like 3 days. Sorry, you run this for like 3 days, and you basically see what the conversions are like on specific ages, right? Do you remember what we did when we break down the ad? Right, when we break down the ad, we looked at what ages are the best. Now, what you want to do is it doesn't really matter what ages are the best or what's making you the money. What we care about is that we have potential with this ad. Okay, so after it runs for 3 days, you'll see if you're getting good leads, because then the next step is to basically split it. Okay, split it to basically to ages and genders if you have that option, if you need to split it to genders. So if we run this, okay, we run this to what was it again? It was 25 to 65 plus, and this runs good. Okay, we let it run for 3 days, and we see the results. Now, like I said, the ad is very similar to the ad that we did already. Okay, we already went through a lot of these things. I don't need to repeat them. When you run this, you should see what's happening, right? You should see what conversions are you getting, because you have the custom conversions. You should see how much you're paying per conversion. You should see how much you're paying per click, and you should see if this ad even has potential. Now, as long as it's getting you clicks, as long as it's getting you conversions, it probably already has potential. So the next step will be to duplicate it to specific ages to see what ages are converting the most. If you don't remember, we talked about split testing. Okay, you want to do the split testing here, because using split testing, we'll be able to see what ages are the most cheapest. So, for example, let's just release this ad. Okay, we're gonna go here. So in the ad set name, like I said, when we're dealing with local businesses, there's no reason to really get complicated. So we'll go ahead and just put in the demographics, which is 25 to 65 plus, female. Okay. We're going to continue. And we're just going to save this to draft. Here, this is where you're basically going to create your ad. Okay, so created is like we talked about before. In the next video as well, I'm going to talk a little bit about video ads and carousel ads. But you can really use it. You can use the link ads that we talked about before with the same blueprint that we talked about. So we run this ad, right? We publish this. We let that run. Now, after 3 days, we'll see results. We'll see how much clicks we're getting. We'll see how much conversions we're getting. Right? Then our next step is if it has any potential. Don't forget, we have an advertising budget of around like $150 to $200. We want to split test it. Now, when we split test it, we basically duplicate it. Okay, we keep the same campaign, and we start to basically check out segments of the ages. So we'll go ahead and target ages 27 to 32, for example. Okay, 27 to 32. We're going to do where is that? Oh, it's at the top. Okay, yeah, 27 to 32. Female, right? Well, that one. Now this, we don't have to do more than $5. Okay, $5 is more than enough to test these. Okay, we run that for $5. Same thing, same targeting, same everything. Okay, we duplicate that. And we want to test 33 to 44. Okay, we basically, all we do is we just basically split test the ages, right? Because we want to see what ages are giving us the best results, right? $5, same thing. We change the ages, 33 to 44. Same thing. Woman, $5. Don't forget, $5 is all you need for ads like this. Okay, we duplicate that. And we go to 45 to 54. Okay, and then we just continue doing this until we basically touch on everything. Okay, so we'll go with 45 to 54. So now it doesn't have to be these exact numbers. All I'm doing is breaking down the ages. You can do 25 to 29 and then 30 to 35 or whatever. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. What we're trying to do is we're trying to create ads to see which one of these ages converge in the cheapest cost. Because don't forget, our big ad, it basically automatically Facebook optimizes on certain demographics. So that's why it's important to really split it like this. Okay. And then the last one would be 55 to 65, right? Okay, so 55 to 65. It's really, really simple. There's really no need to overcomplicate this. Okay, we have the ad. We send that to a landing page. They get the email, the number, whatever the client needs, and then they come to the business. If it's a hair salon, if it's a dentist, if it's a chiropractor, if it's a tanning bed salon, whatever, and they make money there. What you're trying to do is you're trying to basically get the cheapest leads. Right, that's your goal here, to get the cheapest leads. Whatever gives you the cheapest leads. How do you know what the cheapest leads are? You track the custom conversions. Okay, by seeing the custom conversions and how much you're paying per conversion, which is the lead, then you'll know which ad works the best. You don't have to close all ads, because some ads will be cheaper than others, but still they're okay. Like if you're paying $1 per lead on one ad and then $2 per lead on a different ad, and then let's say $6 per lead on another ad, then the $6 per lead you probably should close. But $1 and $2, if that's still okay for the client, or if it's still profitable, then it's okay. The more you do this, the more numbers will start to connect to you, the more you'll understand the process. So 55 to 65 plus, and that's basically gonna be our last ad in this for this business, right? So 55 65 plus. Okay, and we let that run. Now sometimes you'll have men and women, right? So another split is that you can do is, instead of splitting, like let's say if you run an ad for male and woman, for females and males, then there's no reason to, if you've seen it successful, there's no reason to start split testing everything, different ages and two different genders. You can send out another ad and see what works better, females or males. And then whatever works better, you can send out for example, one ad for females and one ad for males, and still like the same ages. And then whatever will work better, you just split test that. So if the males work better, you just split test ages on the male. And the more it works, you can start to basically reach bigger audiences. Okay, we'll get to that in a second as well. And that's really it. That's basically how you want to deal with testing, and how you really want to segment and see what works and see what doesn't. Like I said, it's pretty basic. There's no need to overcomplicate stuff. This has been working amazing for us, for my students and for clients, because the local businesses that you choose to work with and the local businesses that we're talking about here are the easiest to get clients to. And these simple ads get them clients. So to quickly recap, the first ad that you will send out is the broad ad, right? The broad ad, which in this case is 25 to 65 plus females, because our clients told us that their males are not the one that spend money. And we know that we don't want to target the ages 25 below, because they're just come for the freebie. So this is the ad that we send out. Now we send this out, right? We send it out, and then we let that run. If it works, after 3 days, it works, there's potential, we start to send out these ads. So we don't send everything out, we don't ever send everything together, right? From the get-go, we start with a test ad, and then we start to split it. Okay, we start to split it to these ones. Now, after we split it, then these ones will start to gain results, right? We start to see which one is cheaper, which one has the lowest cost per action. And then we know what we can close, and then we know what we can continue working with, and what we can scale as well, which I'll get to in a second as well. But just to recap, so you understand, we send out the first ad, which is the broad ad, with a $10 budget, and we let that run for 3 days. We see the results. If it works, we duplicate it to different ages, okay? And then we see what ages work the best. If we were targeting male and female, then I would split it. I would create 2 new ads, and I would create one male, one female, still all ages, and then I would see which one works better, the male or the female, and then I'll do this exact process after I let those two ads run. If female works better, then I'll duplicate that to the ages, right? But in this case, we're not targeting males, we're only targeting females. So if this works after 3 days, we're gonna create these ones. Now, this is only the clicks to website ad. The next step would be to start optimizing on the custom conversions. So what we'll do is we'll create a custom conversion ad, optimize on leads, because that will sometimes work better than the clicks to website ad. Not all the times, because sometimes clicks to website really works good, but a lot of times the custom conversion will work good because it's a pixel that's optimized on people to leave their information. Don't forget, you don't want to deal with that until you got like 20, 30 conversions, because that will be enough data for you to start working with it. Until then, just use clicks to website. Okay? So I'll see you in the next video.